Yeah.
Hey, this is Strick with Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and mass meet friction and the ramp decides the results and eventually who'll win. Today, we've got the next in the line of the Japan Historics. That is the Datsun 620 pickup. I just did the unboxing a minute ago, so I'll show that here in a bit. But I just wanted to kind of say, wow, it feels like it might be a little faster than the other wheel riders that we've tested so far. Obviously, only the track will know. But first, we're going to get the measurements in. Then we're going to do the 20 test runs, not test runs, they're the 20 warm-up laps on the short form drag strip, where we will also see what the slowest and the fastest lap are, kind of the variables, the variance there. And then we'll run the official test runs. We call them test runs, but then we'll take the average and plug some additional info, like, again, the usual track geometry, room temp, track temp, room humidity, that kind of thing. And then we'll see where it stacks up against what we've run up to this point. I think this is car number 7. We'll say vehicle number 7 because it is a pickup truck. And this is, as I'll mention here in a minute as well in the unboxing, I think this is one of the trucks, the Datsun, that ran really fast in John Racer 3's videos when he was doing his like King of the Case, I think is what he calls that series. But this does feel like it's going to be a bit faster. Anyway, we'll see you on the flip side, and thank you for being here. If you feel like it, hope you'll hit that subscribe button and maybe follow us, and at least like the videos, and then chime in, let me know what you think we could be doing differently, better, something more interesting. And then if you want to see other vehicles and that kind of thing, or you want to know anything about the measurements that we're tracking. Okay, we'll be back.
Hey, we are back here at Peak Speed Lab 164, getting ready to do vehicle number 7 of this test, and I guess 4 or 5 of the Japan Historics 5 for this batch, for this run. And what's up next? We've got the Datsun 620 pickup. Now, I mentioned in another video about John Racer 3 having one that really was fast on the track when he was doing his distance challenges and stuff. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this one performs. Same backing as the other Japan Historics. Let's just take a quick look at this. This Datsun 620. Always try to get that bottom, but when it's the black bottoms, always tough to tell. These are the real riders. But no movement, so nothing comes open. All right. Time for measurements. This actually feels like a little bit of weight. Not sure if it'll be in the same weight class, but it already feels like it rolls a little bit differently than the other ones that we've run from this set. So we'll see in a moment. Okay, starting with the warm-up. All right, we take a look at a few of the collection. Slot cars, 143 scale, Hot Wheels, that's going to be a special one. We'll open that one a little bit later. More slot cars, those are 132 scale. You got some Fast and Furious, Bruce Lee, etc. The Lab. A lot of stuff going on with the Lab. Okay, we are just finished the 20 warm-ups. And with that, we've got the 185 was the fastest and 203 was the slowest of the 20. Pretty, a little bit tighter consistently wise. So anyway, here we go with the first official lap. Okay, lap 10 about to be done, after which we will take a look at the numbers or the results of everything. Welcome back to Peak Speed Lab 164. I'm Strick, and this is again where gravity and mass meet friction. The ramp decides the results and eventually who will win. So today we did the Datsun 620, as you've seen in these videos or in the runs if you watched it up to this point. Pickup truck, and I thought it was going to be a little bit faster, but while I guess it was a touch, it was definitely ran more consistent speed wise from what I'm looking at here. But we're going to plug in the numbers. We're going to see how things line up, and then we'll really know for sure how it performed versus the other vehicles in its class. But it's a pretty interesting run. We had no real issues. I tried using the Canon 70D camera this time instead of the iPhone, see if that looks any better. Feels a little bit more unwieldy to use, so I may move back to the iPhone for shooting those track runs because it's just easier to handle and it seems like it captures the video better. But let me know what you guys think. I appreciate it. Once again, if you don't mind hitting that like button and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. We want to try to get this thing rolling and get more folks interested in these metrics, the physics, how these cars are performing, and as we continue to build this database, really find out what cars are the highest performing cars, again, regardless of the run, the model, the materials, all of those things. So it's gonna be an interesting long-term, I'll call it an experiment, but tracking experiment, that kind of thing. But in the meantime, again, hope you all enjoyed it. I'm always interested in hearing some feedback. If you're interested, please drop some comments. If you have anything else that you want me to check out, as far as other cars, down the road, again, I've talked about some other track options once we get enough of the initial vehicles in the database that we can start spreading it out. But got to do the what some might think the tough, boring work first before we can really start opening this thing up. But it's been interesting so far. All right, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Again, this is Strick with Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and mass meet friction, the ramp decides the result, and eventually who will win. And until next time, this was number 7
7. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.